Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. So today's video is a complete SLG collection video. I'm going to be sharing with you every single SLG that I own. By SLG I mean small leather goods, so all my wallets, card holders, that sort of thing. I am going to be ranking them as well, so I'm going to be going in order of what I consider to be the best or my favourite, right through to my least favourite. I would say that I don't, generally speaking, keep hold of SLGs that I really don't like, so I don't have any complete disasters here. I do tend to just sell them if I don't get along with them, but I definitely do have my favorites and my kind of not so favorites. So I hope you guys enjoy this and let's get started. So I'm starting off with my best or most favorite SLGs, and I have two tied at the top, and I like both of these equally. It just kind of depends on what I need, whether I'm going for a small wallet or a long wallet. The long wallet, which is from Mulberry, is my go-to on a daily basis. It's what I'm using now, it's what I use most of the time, and I got this, I think it was like autumn last year, so it's still fairly new, but I pretty much haven't switched out of it unless I've needed like a small card holder since I got it. It's been very functional and I've just been incredibly pleased with it. I was in the market for a long wallet and I thought I'd go for a Louis Vuitton option just because Louis Vuitton is, generally speaking, my go-to when it comes to SLGs, but they're also very expensive, so I just looked around to see if there was anything else in the market that caught my eye, stumbled across this, and it just ticked all the boxes that I wanted it to. It does open with a little turn lock, and what I loved about it was the fact that it had a ton of card slots, because as you can see I have a ton of cards, so that was a big requirement for me. And this one has 6 on each side as well as extra pockets, so it was really great. It also has a middle compartment for some coins, has a front pocket as well, it has a back pocket, and you also have this great little pocket on the back. So there is a ton of storage, but it's also not overly bulky, which I really like as well. Really functional. The leather is beautiful quality as well, and it's actually quite a soft leather, but it doesn't seem to mark or wear badly at all. For me, this is kind of the best of both worlds. I really love the colour as well. I love the little turn lock. I was concerned that maybe this would begin show wear, but it really hasn't. And overall I've just been really pleased with it, and I think this was less than £300, so it was less than half the price of the Louis Vuitton ones that I was looking at, and for me this just being the most fantastic buy. So would definitely recommend if you were looking for a long wallet. I've been thrilled to bits with mine. And as my compact wallet, mine is the Louis Vuitton Victorine wallet, which I've been so happy with. It's a fantastic compact wallet because not only is it obviously very beautiful, but it's very slimline, but it also packs a punch in terms of the capacity and the functionality. It just does so well. So it just opens up like so, and you have 3 card slots on each side, so 6 in total. But you also have a pocket right here as well, and you have a space for money, bills, receipts, anything you want to put in there, and then you also have a space for coins, so it kind of fits in everything that you need to, but it still has the size of a very slim wallet, even when packed full, which is what I love about it. The armpit leather is beautiful as well. It's so hard wearing. I use this so much, and it's just done incredibly well. The wear that I can see is mainly on the button, which has begun to tarnish a little bit. I do think you might be able to replace that. I haven't really looked into it because it doesn't really bother me, to be honest, but apart from that, it's done incredibly well considering how much use it got. And even though it is quite an expensive piece, I think it's about £450, I do think it's worth it. I've just been so happy with mine. And my next pick is my Gucci card holder, and I like this for the same reason that I like my Victorine wallet, in that it looks like a very dinky petite card holder, but it actually has all the functionality, or most of the functionality, of a much larger wallet while still being this adorable small size. So it just opens up like so, and you do have a whole area for bills and receipts, unlike a lot of card holders. So it just has this area right here, which I love. You have a few slots for cards and on here as well, and then you just have this very small area for coins. This is a very tiny area, but to be honest, I rarely deal with coins anymore, so that doesn't bother me at all. And there's not too much to it, that's pretty much it. But for a small card holder, this is really everything that I need, and it's just very functional for that reason. So very happy with this. I think it's a beautiful piece. I think it looks gorgeous. I think it's priced well, and it's just very functional for the size. My next SLG isn't actually a wallet at all, but it is a key holder, and I spoke about this a lot, albeit it was kind of in my original YouTube days. I love this thing. I've had it for a very long time, so you'll see in the close-ups it looks very grubby at this point. I've used it an absolute ton. I could probably do with replacing the button because it's really begun to wear off quite a bit. But I love this thing so much, and before I got it I really didn't see the need for a key holder, but now that I do, I just couldn't imagine not having this in my life. I love the fact that it makes finding my keys so much easier. I was absolutely that girl that always had a massive tote bag and would spend 10 minutes at her door just trying to find that tiny little key. And that's just no longer a problem, and I love it for that reason. I did get the 6 key holder, and you do also have a little space for a card or anything that you want to pop in there as well. You can even see there's like a mark right there, which I don't know what I did to it. But again, I've used this pretty much every single day since I got it. I've had it for many, many years, so I don't think it's done it too badly at all. It's not a super essential piece because obviously, you know, if you are happy with your keys, it's fine, but I do think this is fantastic, and certainly if I lost mine and once I got my keys back, I would definitely get another one because I just love mine so much. My next favorite are my Saint Laurent card holders, and I'm kind of lumping these together. I'm doing that with Chanel as well because obviously there's not too much difference between a red one and a white one, but generally in terms of the overall item, I love this item. It's kind of my go-to giveaway prize as well, and I think it makes a fantastic gift. I think they're priced actually really reasonably. Obviously it's still at a luxury price point, but I think they look super iconic. I think they're so beautiful. They always come in stunning colors, and they're actually very, very durable and hard wearing as well. And for that reason, I just don't think that these can be beat. You do have 2 card slots on both sides, so on this side and then on the other side you have the 2 as well, but you also have the middle compartment also. And you know, that's pretty much it. There are no other bells and whistles, but for what you're getting, I think it's a beautiful item. It's very compact, but you still can fit in a decent amount, and I just love these. So always a favourite for me. I love both of the ones that I have, and I just think they're stunning. My next pick definitely isn't an essential one, but I love it nonetheless. It is a passport holder. Mine is from Louis Vuitton. I did get my one personalised. It's actually a gift from Dan, so I have my initials and then a yellow stripe right there. It just opens up, and I have my passport on one side, and you also have some card slots on the other side, and I just have my Heathrow rewards card here. If you fly out of Heathrow and you don't have one of these, you really need to. They're amazing. You collect points and then you can transfer them into kind of gift vouchers, and they actually really add up, so I'll definitely recommend that. I also have a flying card right there, and then I have a business card for one of the stores at Heathrow, and it's just really handy. You know, I love having all of these in one place. Have my passport on the other side, and yes, you do need to take your passport out when you're at immigration, but that's not a big deal to me, and I just like having it protected, and again, everything in one place. So I love mine. I get that they won't be for everyone, and of course it does depend on how often you travel, but for me, I love this to bits, and I definitely wouldn't be without mine. My next favourite, and I would say here that a lot of these kind of favourites that I've spoken about so far are really kind of clumped together. Like, it's not as if they're progressively getting much worse, and I hate these ones because I still really like all of them. I'm just kind of ranking them according to what has a slight edge over the other items. But next up is my Chanel card holders. I'm lumping these 2 together just because they are very similar in terms of functionality. I love these. I think they're beautiful. Are they essential? Again, no. Like, I don't think these take the place of a larger wallet just because they are quite limited. So I tend to use these for extra rewards cards if I'm really downsizing, have a very mini bag, and I want something easy to access. And this one just opens up like so, just has an empty space right here, and then you also have a card slot right there. And then my turquoise one, much the same, card slot right there, and then it just opens up to a wide open space. So very similar. This one is in lambskin. This one I think is in goatskin if I remember correctly, but very similar indeed. I think these are beautiful pieces. They're also a nice way if you wanted to kind of dip your toes into the Chanel world. These are still expensive, but they're not like kind of thousands of pounds. I think they now retail for around about the £300 mark. Obviously still pricey items, but definitely better than their bags. And if you wanted just a little slice of Chanel luxury, I don't think you can go wrong. They are really beautiful, and I do love mine. I did also quickly want to mention something about the wear and tear, and the goat skin one is less of a common material, I think, but particularly with the lambskin, because lambskin does get such a bad rep. The SLGs in lambskin, in my experience, typically do a lot better. The exception to this are their kind of larger wallets. I did have a larger, I guess it was more of like a medium-sized compact wallet in lambskin, and that was just so crazy delicate. I ended up selling it very quickly because I was just terrified to use it. But if you do get something something in quite a small size, then for me it's not really an issue for lambskin, just because in my experience, the smaller the surface area with lambskin, the better it will hold up in terms of daily wear and tear. And this one has done it very well. I am beginning to see a little bit of wear on the corner, but that's really it, and I've had this for quite a few years now. So these are really great. If you do get a lambskin one, I wouldn't worry too much. You will see wear and tear if you use it every single day, but I also think that's true of most SLGs, and I've been really, really happy with mine. Which brings me on to my other Chanel piece, which is this card holder, but this is in a slightly different design. So this one kind of folds out. You do have 2 card slots right there, as well as a bigger pocket there, and you have a kind of photo area right here, as well as a pocket on the back. I like this slightly less than my other ones, just because I'm always a bit flummoxed as to what to do with this area. It's great if you have ID, but I don't have ID like that, so I don't really use this area to its potential. So for that reason, I tend to grab this one a little bit less. But again, if I did have an ID, then this would be perfect. So it's just going to depend on what you use and what you carry. Apart from that, no other complaints. I think it's a beautiful piece, and I probably like this way more than I should, considering how much I reach for it, because I just love the combination. I think the navy caviar and the gold hardware is stunning, and I just think it's beautiful. So a nice functional piece depending on if you're going to use that little photo area. My next piece is my Louis Vuitton coin purse, and I really do like this. I like it probably more than I should, because it's not the most functional item in the world, and this definitely isn't an essential item by any means. But I do love it, and a large part of why I love it is probably the design. This one is a limited edition one. It has this adorable little polar bear print on it. Dan actually got this for me for Christmas, and I just think it's so, so adorable. I have discovered a use for it as well, so I do use this now to collect my memory cards. They used to be all over the flat, so it's amazing that I have an area to store them. If I didn't do YouTube though, I'm not fully sure what I would use it for. I don't really have a lot of coins on me on a daily basis. I pay for everything by card, so it doesn't really have that original purpose, for me at least anyway. So again, I'm not really sure what else I would use it for. I've heard some people say that they use it to store their earphones, but I have my own little case for my earphones. So it depends if you can think of a use for it. If not, then it is more of a novelty item, but with my current use for it, I do think it's really, really lovely. I'm down to my last 2 SLG items, and I would say that these 2 are definitely my least favorite items. You know, I like everything that I have, but I wouldn't say that these are completely successful purchases. So first up is my Chanel pouch, which I began using as a replacement for a kind of proper wallet when I first got it. But even though I loved it when I first started using it, the novelty kind of wore off, and I love the fact that it was very slimline and it was very easy just to pop everything in and go. But when I was using this, I did get a few more cards that I wanted to carry with me on a daily basis, and it just got very tiresome to have to pull everything out and go through everything. I think it works if you only use kind of a couple of cards, but I was having to carry, you know, 6 to 8 cards, and it just became too much. So I stopped using it for a longer wallet. Now I really just use it for excess rewards cards and things like that. If you had another purpose for it, you know, the functionality is pretty simple, so there's nothing actually wrong with it, but it was quite a pricey item. I think this was close to £500, and you know, of course it's Chanel, so everything is very expensive, but I don't fully think that this was worth the money. So yeah, kind of a mixed bag. I do think at this price point I would want more of a proper wallet functionality, which obviously I knew I wasn't getting, but I was kind of swayed by the beautiful print. I think it's nice, but I do think there are better value options out there. And finally, for my last item, I do have my Saint Laurent wallet, which I've mentioned before, it hasn't completely worked out for me. I think it's beautiful. You guys know I'm a huge fan of Saint Laurent. I think they do stunning designs. I love the color. It's this beautiful kind of pearly pink, but I just don't love the functionality, and you know, it has all the makings of something I would like. I generally like this kind of jewel style with the coin section and the fold out wallet bit, but I just really don't like the fact that it doesn't open very wide, so you really have to stretch out if you want it to kind of have a straight area. And you can fit your bills in there. I have kind of one £10 note at the moment, but again, it's just not very easy to maneuver. And for me, that just kind of dampened my whole experience of it. I like to be able to easily maneuver with my wallets, especially when I compare it to my Victorine wallet, which is very malleable whilst also being very hard wearing. This for me just kind of comes up short. So, you know, it is lovely. I do think it looks the part, but I do think there are better and more functional options out there. So that is it for this video, guys. I hope that you enjoyed it. I hope I covered everything that you wanted to know about my SLG collection. But if you do have any questions for me, then leave me a comment down below. Let me know as well what your favourite SLG is. If there's any that you'd recommend, I'd be happy to hear about it, see if I can get any inspiration. If you enjoyed the video, please do give this a thumbs up. And as always, thank you so much for watching. I will see you in my next one. Bye, guys.